Don't hurt me. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance!
What about my uncle? Did you give him a chance? Did you?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series talk show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And today, it's once again time to dream, Justin. Dream of a world where Black Series has another Haslab. Look, you can see him now in the distance.
Yep, with all the recent buzz going on with yet another vintage collection Haslab with the Cantina that we covered on a live stream with Bosk's Bounty, if you want to check that out.
You should.
We decided to jump into the pool of, give us another chance, Hasbro.
What about my uncle? Did you give him a chance? That joke never gets old.
Of course, we've had one other Black Series Haslab in the past, being the Rancor. We have not had a single chance ever again for a 1/12 Black Series Haslab. So we just have some ideas here for what we think could be highly successful or probably just barely squeeze and make it like the Rancor did. I say wildly successful, but probably not. Black Series fans, it's very hard for them to understand scale, because you're not going to find lat gunship on here. That would be like $2,000.
It'd also be like the size of the table we film on.
Yeah. So they don't understand scale, and then I feel like anytime something is above a $25 action figure, they lose their minds. All of the vehicles went on clearance. They notoriously fail every single time in the Black Series, so
we've got a bad track record of showing up and supporting things that we claim we want. So these Haslab picks, though, are more realistically scaled items. Nothing too crazy. No Millennium Falcon, no Death Star here. Actual, like, things that we think could genuinely happen and could maybe fund. So let's jump into it, Justin. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Our very first Haslab would actually be some obscure character figure sets.
yeah. And obviously, I don't know if they would have to go the Haslab route. They could just put them up on Pulse, kind of like the Jabba's Palace TVC set. But if we're just spitballing, what if we just get uniquely tooled figures that they would otherwise never, ever do?
Yeah, our first example is, of course, going to be the Max Rebo Band.
Yeah.
We would love to have the Max Rebo Band being Max, Psy, and Droopy. Original trilogy versions.
Of course.
None of that special edition Jowie Yowza. Get him out of here.
Absolutely. So 3 characters that, A, they're never going to do in the Black Series. Let's just be real.
Right.
B, they can't get reuse out of it. And unfortunately, that's just the days we live in, is if they can't get reuse out of it, I feel like they're less likely to do it. That doesn't mean there has not been one-off unique molds in the Black Series. It does happen. It happens all the time.
Right.
If you're looking at the line as a whole. If that's what it takes to get figures that would otherwise never happen, just get 3 brand new sculpted figures that just have expert level paint detail, and they all have their respective instruments and everything. Even if it was like 140, 150 for the band, for the Max Rebo Band, like it's almost like the deluxe thing. Like, yeah, Momon Nadon is $34, but if that's what it takes to get Cantina aliens, I'm down.
Yeah. And I also had the idea to do a prequel set as well, so that OT and prequel fans could eat. So I was kind of thinking for a prequel set, some more obscure characters. Again, characters I don't think I truly see happening in the Black Series. So I have down Master Rancisis, Pong Krell, and Dirge.
Yeah. 3, I like how they're kind of all from different factions, kind of. Dirge, of course, being from 2D Clone Wars. Rancisis is from, like, Phantom Menace and a little bit of 3D Clone Wars.
Right.
And then Pong Krell, obviously, he's different, too, because he's like a Jedi turned evil. I like the mix.
Yeah.
I like the mix.
I wanted to go for more of the unique style of, still filling out some of the ranks of the Jedi, but with characters that, you can't reuse Master Rancisis' body. He's a snake.
Yeah.
He's a snake in a robe.
Right.
And really, even though we do say it kind of often where we talk about, oh, if we get Pong Krell, then we could do Dexter Jetster. They're the same species. But then, you kind of look at them side by side, and you're like, okay, they both have the 4 arms, but their body types are completely different.
Dexter's got some weight on him.
Yeah, he's let himself go a little bit over the years, but that's what happens when you run a space 50s diner.
True, and Pong Krell would just be such an excellent figure. They could definitely knock it out of the park. I'm envisioning some great articulation, excellent details. It would be totally worth it, even if it was a thing that I had to get off of their website in this special package. If that's the route that we need to take,
Yep.
I'm down. I'm game. Nate, should we do a Rancor redo?
Yeah, I honestly think if the Rancor happened again today, it would fund.
Like the same campaign?
No, not the same
Okay.
campaign.
All right.
A couple different things for sure. But I think if we tweaked some of the tiers and just maybe included a little bit more with it, then we probably could have seen this actually come to life. So our thought process behind this is have the Rancor come out. The cardboard backdrop is in the box. It's with it.
Of course. Like it always should have been. The bones, too.
The bones, too. Malakili is packed in from the beginning of the campaign.
Yes.
Not as a desperation tack on at the very end. And then don't even promote the fact that it's happening. Tier-wise, we're thinking Ula.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Ula as a figure.
Yeah.
Like, just stop being weird about it. Lucasfilm, Disney,
Right.
it's part of the movie.
I feel like she's got a Power of the Force figure, and then she got another figure, a little bit further down the road. I don't remember if it was Legacy or Saga Collection or one of those. But they've made her before. There's really nothing wrong with her. You can make a censored, less scantily clad version of the outfit like they have on those other figures,
Yeah.
and it would be just fine.
Femi Taylor, we met her at ICC-Con. She's still really receptive and positive and enthusiastic about the role. It's not like she regrets it or says like, oh, I was young and didn't know what I was doing. Like, she fully embraces the role. She's proud to have been part of it. There's nothing problematic about it whatsoever.
Yeah, and I think locking it in a Haslab campaign would be the best way to do it, because now you've guaranteed it's not going to show up on store shelves. It's not going to potentially offend someone, because that someone is not going to stumble across it. It's not going to be like a Breaking Bad Toys R Us situation where, oh no, the toy with the bag of meth.
I'd still be down for a Gamorrean Guard as well. I feel like that just needs to be a part of it. We didn't fully detail these out with like tiers and everything, because that's Hasbro's job. It's not our job to fully friggin' detail every single tier.
We're kind of spitballing.
The minimum order quantity.
Yeah.
How many backers do you need? That's all Hasbro. That's your guys' job. We're just giving you ideas here. But
That's right.
yes, I think a Gamorrean Guard would still be needed. Even though it's a repack, but it's a Gamorrean Guard. It's a deluxe figure. It's in the top 10 best Black Series figures of all time.
And of course, throw Luke in. Keep the Luke as well, because you need the Luke.
And we don't have that look.
That's what I'm saying, is we also don't have that specific look of Luke yet in the line.
Yeah.
So throw him in as the final tier. I think this would back. If it was like this with these tiers, it would back. People would, I guess, see a better value with the cardboard and the bones included. And I think it would be a home run. Justin, we've said it a million times on the channel too. Give prequel fans a chance.
Yes.
When it comes to the Haslabs, we have not gotten anything prequel trilogy related. This year they've been going super hard with the prequel figures.
That's true.
It kind of seems like maybe they're finally like, hey, there's something to these prequel fans.
They keep selling out for some weird reason every time they go in stock.
Yeah, for a long time in the Black Series, we barely got anything from the prequels. But this year alone has been, I would say without a doubt, the most prequel figures we've gotten in one single year of the Black Series ever.
Yeah, prequel era,
Right.
for sure.
Prequel era, definitely. So we're thinking, give us a chance, and let's do Anakin and Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptors. I think these would be the perfect scale vehicles. Not too small, not too big.
Yeah, they're around a similar size to the Black Series Snowspeeder, which released in 2020 for $120. And my idea was double it, make it Haslab quality, give me that like metallic paint and everything, give me high quality expert details, paint apps, give us newly sculpted Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi figures from Revenge of the Sith with the headset,
Yeah,
head sculpts.
do totally unique head sculpts with the piece sculpted onto the actual head itself, because a separate piece would probably be annoying. So sculpted on piece, make them exclusive to the Haslab. Boom.
Do some tiers, give us like a buzz droid.
Yeah, maybe a couple buzz droids. We were thinking also full-sized astromechs for, R2 and R4.
Yeah.
So that way, obviously when they're in the Interceptor, there's no way their whole body is sitting in there.
Because it's CGI and,
right,
Right.
So it would have to just be like their head, kind of like how they're
twisting
doing.
around.
Right.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Like how they do for the TVC Ghost. But, as a tier, include the full astromech versions, maybe trick R2-D2 out with a bunch of the different accessories we see him use when they crash land onto Grievous's ship. You could throw in the rocket boosters, the little shock thing, the plug into
Hit
the
buzz
wall.
droid, center eye,
Yeah.
Some people say they should do one with removable plates. I say just include both for like $500. Just include both.
That was my idea, and then I had another thought as well. I like your thought better, just including both. So maybe they could also do like they're doing with the Mos Eisley Cantina and have a couple different options. Buy them both or one or the other.
Okay.
Maybe something like that. Maybe there's someone out there that wouldn't want both of them at the same time, but I think you and I are both on the same page where it's like,
you would need both.
If you're gonna get the one, you might as well get both of them.
What they would do is do the panel thing, because then people would back too, and it would like boost the numbers.
Yeah.
Like maybe that would be a better way to hit the tiers, since people would be like, oh, I have to buy two now.
Right, but at that point, drop it down, make it 250-ish.
Yeah.
And then, if that was the case, I would back two. But either way, I think, this would be something that we could potentially see actually fund.
Yeah.
Anakin and Obi-Wan desperately need remakes of their figures. Give them exclusive heads to get those hardcore prequel fans involved.
Yeah.
And again, the vehicles are not too big. They're not too small. So they could easily fit into a display or on someone's shelf.
Or hang it from your ceiling, but just don't sleep under it. Don't have your bed under that. And prequel fans, if this ever happens, that would be your chance. Show up.
But now let's turn back to the OT, Justin. We are OTers at heart. Always have been, always will be. We love the prequel trilogy, but there is nothing better than that sweet, sweet original trilogy.
That's true.
So my next pick is a pretty obvious one. This one is always talked about in the community, and I do genuinely think it could be successful, and that is the ATST.
Yeah.
It's from Return of the Jedi, one of the most iconic Imperial ships, like Walker, whatever you want to call
Vehicle.
it. Yeah, a vehicle. Right, that's a good name. Just a generic vehicle. Prominently featured in the movie on the Battle of Endor. They've done it in 3 3/4 inch. It again falls into that category of it's big, but it's not too big.
Right. It would be comparable to like Galactus or the Sentinel. I can't remember which one it would be closer to, but I think it's a comparable height. In our opinions, it's not too big. I get like the weight balance thing, do some ratchet joints on the legs.
Yeah, I know they've struggled with it in the vintage collection, but I think they could figure something out. And I think
it's a smaller scale, so I feel like, would it be easier? Well, for a larger scale, because you could do ratchets and
yeah, I think the ratchet joints would be key. You would need them at the knees and then also at the part that connects to like the cockpit of the vehicle. So giving us some sturdy ratchet joints would really help out. Make like I had the idea to make the top cockpit piece completely removable, so you could take that off and you could like see some of the insides, maybe the seat, and you could swap it for a battle damaged look. Maybe that could be
Ooh.
one of the tiers.
Yeah.
Where it would be post getting hit with the logs, so it would be kind of smushed. Just to give you some, maybe a little bit of toy photography options
little toy
there.
photography option, little battle damage. I also think maybe a tier could be the Ewok on the glider, the hang glider
That would be awesome.
with the stones that's dropping onto the ATST. The Imperial Driver, they'd have to do 2 of those.
Yeah, definitely pack both of them in. Non-tiers, they're just included with the figure. And then maybe if they just want to throw a bone, the last tier could be maybe it's some kind of new Chewbacca. That'd be scene specific.
So you could put him, like, he opens the hatch and then pokes his head out.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, maybe make the details of a Chewbacca figure like super scene specific to that moment. Since Chewbacca does start to look different, especially like Empire to Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And they've only really captured that on like the Prisoner Chewie figure where he's kind of got like the more like his hair's parted.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
Right.
The fur's parted.
It's definitely different. So ATST, it's a super popular choice. However, our final pick is kind of out of pocket.
Ooh.
This has been like my main Haslab pitch for the past like 6-8 months. This is just, I've been like locked in on the AAT, which is the Separatist Battle Droid Tank.
This would be nice.
Hasbro absolutely loves doing releases that are scene specific.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do scene specific for the AAT and make it Battle of Naboo.
Ooh.
With the battle droids versus the Gongons.
A little synergy with the previously released Jar Jar Binks, Justin.
Exactly, because he comes with the shield, the booma, the spear. This thing is not too big. It seems big, but it's a crew of 2.
Right.
I believe it's a crew of 2, maybe 3 battle droids. Star Wars Master Blaster, who we frequently have on the streams annually, he showed us how this would look in true 1/12 scale. He's like the master 3D printer, diorama, vehicle, Black Series maker. So I think it looks more than practical as far as scale and size. It should come with the OOM-9, which is the B1 with the yellow circle, the yellow markings, the commander, essentially.
Finally give us the Commander B1.
I want a big booma.
Like the one, like the catapult releasing.
Yeah,
Booma.
or like the container that like busts open and they're all like rolling and then Jar Jar's running away from it.
Okay, yeah.
Just the big booma with like nice details because there's like little crystallized energy effect. I even think for an additional tier, a B1 that is getting hit by a booma.
Ooh, like a little battle damage.
Yeah,
look
and he's
to
like
him.
getting electrified.
Okay.
And it's splatting on him.
I would
like,
love that.
I think that would be really cool. Droidicas are in that scene.
That is true. That is true.
Roos Tarpals?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Roos Tarpals would be a great pick
Jump
here.
Jaja!
Just because we saw that Jar Jar's release was disastrous. Total peg warmer.
Yeah.
Went to Ollie's.
Of course.
I fear it would be even worse for Roos. So pack him in with a Haslab to get people like us that are like hardcore that would buy a Roos, but we know like if he was released generally, it would be straight to Ollie's for him.
Yeah, and there would be some unique tooling on him, and new head and bits and everything. And like I said, include the OOM-9 from the get-go. And then, yeah, the tiers could be like Roos Tarpals, some big boomas, and the B1 getting hit, Droidica. Maybe even the creature that they ride, that like Roos and Jar Jar are on.
Okay.
I forget exactly what they're called, but I just really think locking in on this scene-specific thing could work. People would buy maybe more than one so they could repaint it as the blue Clone Wars version.
Yeah.
That has like the Separatist logo
Right.
and stuff. So I think it has potential. I think it really does have potential.
How about last thought on this? Throw a stap in there?
Ooh, how could I forget?
I mean,
I literally have that written down right here.
Yeah.
Stap. A stap is an excellent thing. They could do that as a single release and I'd buy it.
Oh, yeah.
It's tiny.
it 100%. I feel like since really the only vehicles we ever get anymore are like the speeder bikes, the stap is might even be smaller than
because the
than
characters
speeder
look
bike.
big on it.
Right. Like, the battle droid looks kind of large when they're on the step, so it's got to be small enough. But this would be a great tier, perhaps.
Yeah.
Something to just add a little bit more value to the actual ship itself.
Get the translucent stand. 'Cause it obviously would have to come with a stand.
Right. Just imagine, though, the really nice paint details, like all that like carbon scoring on
Yeah.
the front of it and the stuff like that.
Exactly. The carbon scoring, the battle damage, like you said, I think they could kill it. The cockpit opens up. Maybe the front part opens up for, like, the other B1 that's in it. Mm-hmm. I think this is, like, my number one. It's my magnum opus for Haslab ideas. I truly think they could make this work.
Yeah. What would you think, for just one final thought,
Sure.
price range on the AAT?
See, price with Haslabs are so difficult because if the passion is there, you're going to pay it.
Right.
We have such a strong emotional connection to Star Wars. Logic goes out the window.
Facts.
I mean, spending any amount of money on plastic, you could say that's stupid. Like, what do you get out of that? It's just a material thing. So I really struggle with, like, what is this worth? Mm-hmm. How much would I pay for this? Because if it was $300, I'd buy it. If it was $350, I'd buy it. If it was $400, I'd buy it. If it was $450, I'd buy it. Like, it's a Black Series 1/12 Haslab. If it was prequel related or OT, I'm backing it.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Like, I just know I would back it. So it's hard to slap a sticker price on it, honestly. One final thought is I just want to say no dioramas for Black Series Haslabs.
100%.
No dioramas. I know some people try to promote them and, you know, they have some nice ideas and everything, but scale. You just gotta think of the scale and displayability. Dioramas would not work, in my opinion. I think any Black Series diorama would look incomplete. It would look small because it's not TVC. You can't do these full enclosed, you know, buildings like you can with the Vintage Collection.
And a lot of the more popular diorama options, we just simply don't have the figures to go with them.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if we wanted to get a 1/12 Cantina or a 1/12 Jabba's Palace, we'd have to populate it with random figures. Like, there's no way that they would possibly be able to deliver on the amount of characters we would need for, like, some of those really popular dioramas that people would want to see in the Black Series. So it's not even worth it at that point.
But let us know any and all ideas in the comments down below. Hit like, subscribe if you are new. We are always talking about the Black Series here on the channel.
And of course, if you are in a position to help support the channel directly, we do also offer a couple different channel membership tiers. Check those out in the description down below. We do also have to give a huge shout out and a special thank you to all of our current channel members. Your continued support is truly appreciated. And thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.